Why is immune system adaptation crucial for lymphoma? Imagine your immune system as a vigilant security team constantly scanning for intruders. When it encounters abnormal cells, like those that could turn into lymphoma, it steps in to control or eliminate them. This process, called immune surveillance, is essential in preventing cancer from developing. In non-Hodgkin lymphoma, however, the cancer cells are clever. They evolve ways to hide from or disable the immune system, making the fight much more complex. Understanding how the immune system adapts helps us see why lymphoma can be so tricky to treat and why therapies targeting these adaptations are so important. Normally, immune cells like T cells patrol the body, recognizing abnormal cells by their antigens, which are like flags on the surface. These flags are presented through molecules called human leukocyte antigens. When everything works well, the immune system keeps abnormal cells in check. But lymphoma cells can develop strategies to escape this detection. They may lose or downregulate these antigen-presenting molecules, making them invisible to T cells. This loss is often due to genetic changes that make the escape permanent. Without these signals, immune cells can't recognize or attack the lymphoma, allowing it to grow unchecked. At the same time, lymphoma cells actively defend themselves by turning on mechanisms that deactivate immune cells. One common tactic involves proteins called PD-L1 and PD-L2. These proteins bind to receptors on T cells, called PD-1, effectively turning off the immune response. When lymphoma cells increase PD-L1, they create a shield that prevents T cells from attacking. This is often driven by genetic alterations in the tumor, which means the cancer adapts to the immune attack by strengthening its defenses. Lymphoma cells also use another trick by expressing a molecule called CD47. Think of it as a "don't eat me" signal that tells immune cells called macrophages not to engulf and destroy them. By boosting CD47, lymphoma cells can avoid being cleared out by the body's innate immune defenses. This ongoing adaptation helps the cancer survive even when the immune system is trying to eliminate it. But lymphoma doesn't just manipulate the cancer cells themselves. It also changes the surrounding environment, recruiting immune cells that support its survival. Instead of attacking the tumor, these immune cells become suppressive, releasing signals that dampen the immune response. This creates an immunosuppressive microenvironment, making it even harder for the immune system to do its job. It's like the tumor has turned the security team into allies. Another key adaptation involves reducing the expression of molecules called human leukocyte antigens. When these are decreased or lost, the immune system's T cells can't recognize the tumor as abnormal. This loss is often due to genetic mutations, making it a stable and lasting change. It's a clever way for lymphoma to become invisible and resistant to immune attack. Understanding these adaptation mechanisms is vital because it guides modern treatments. For example, drugs called checkpoint inhibitors block PD-1 or PD-L1, removing the off switch and reactivating T cells. Similarly, therapies targeting CD47 can help macrophages recognize and destroy lymphoma cells. These treatments essentially force the immune system to adapt again, overcoming the cancer's defenses. Knowing how lymphoma cells adapt also helps predict treatment resistance. When lymphoma develops resistance to one therapy, it often does so by further changing its immune evasion tactics. For instance, if a tumor loses the target antigen that a therapy relies on, it becomes invisible to that treatment. This ongoing adaptation means that combination therapies targeting multiple escape routes are often necessary to stay ahead of the disease. In summary, immune system adaptation is at the heart of how lymphoma develops and persists. It explains why the disease can be so resilient and why personalized approaches that target these specific adaptations are so promising. Recognizing these mechanisms helps healthcare professionals design smarter treatments, ultimately giving patients a better chance of overcoming this complex disease. Always remember, if you or someone you know is dealing with lymphoma, Consulting a healthcare professional is essential for personalized advice and care.